Hey there, it's almost holiday time, and with that around the corner, I figured I'd come and do a quick video, hopefully quick, how to make a low carb dessert. If you love pumpkin pie, but you don't want all the extra carbs of the crust and whatnot, a great alternative is pumpkin pie mousse. So what I have already in here is the cream cheese, and the pumpkin puree. You want to make sure the pumpkin puree is 100%, that there's no added sugar, that it's not like a pumpkin pie filling. So what we need to do here is you need to blend this. Okay, and something just fell on the floor. So if your cream cheese is not softened enough, because sometimes if you're like me and you need to get it done, you may not have waited long enough for it to soften up, just beware, things might go flying out. So basically you get that all creamed together. And then we're going to add in, I've got pumpkin pie spice, and I'm doubling the recipe because I'm doing this for a gathering. So I've got the pumpkin pie spice, and I'm just going to dump that in. And actually, I'm kind of trying to follow the recipe right now. Normally I don't. I just kind of throw it all in. I leave the whipping cream at the end typically. And then we've got pure vanilla extract. And for this, since we're keeping it low carb, this is a sugar substitute. So what I'm using is allulose. I find that one is not as sweet as like monk fruit, so it's kind of 1-to-1 ratio. So basically you just want to blend it all up, kind of make sure all that goodness gets mixed together, the cream cheese and the pumpkin pie puree and the vanilla and the sugar substitute. If you need to, you give it a little stir, because sometimes, you know, that stuff is a little stubborn. It likes to stick to the bottom. Give it a little more. See, this is when I used to have a hand mixer, or a stand mixer, not a hand mixer, because I'm using a hand mixer. But there was a point where I wasn't using the tool. It was in my house, but I wasn't using it because I didn't bake as much back then. So at that time, I was getting ready to go on a mission trip, so I was led to sell it. And I'm like, oh Lord, can you give me another stand mixer? Because now that I seem to be doing more, it seems that stand mixer would come in real handy. You ever had that? You got a tool around and you don't know what to use, or it's just sitting on the shelf, but then all of a sudden you're like, yep, I need that tool. So here I have, like I said, I doubled the recipe. So I have my whipping cream, and then you're just gonna pour it in and get all that goody goodness out of there. We don't want to leave any of that cream behind. Ooh, I'm out of camera shot. You don't want to leave any of that goodness behind. You want it all in there, nice, creamy. Starting it up and blending it all. Again, because I just dumped it all in there, you can see it'll start splattering. That's the beauty, I guess, if you have a stand mixer. You have the guard and all that stuff. So this is something that does take a little time to blend up. So I won't bore you with that. I guess probably hopefully in here when I'm doing the video, I can edit it because I'm sure you don't want to watch me mixing for. So basically, you can see as I go, it's getting a little more firm. That's what you're whipping it up until it creates a firmer peak. And so you can see as I go to, you want to make sure you're scraping all that goodies, everything gets mixed inside. You don't want to leave anything hanging off on the edge. And as you can see, I'm kind of having to go back and forth. So, you know, if you, when you're baking and doing this, and if you have to use a hand mixer, you're getting that like muscle workout too for your arms. Dual purpose, right? So, and then as you're going and you can see it's getting more firm in there. This is the fun part because now you, as the one you're baking it, you can start taste testing. But I kind of know now, and it's, I should say too, sometimes that might be good if you're doing a double batch for your family. If you have a little bit extra taste test while you're going on, you make sure you got more than enough for everyone else. Alrighty, it looks pretty good. And you know, the fun part too is always licking the beaters at the end. If you so shall choose, and you can either, you know, I guess be a little greedy and keep them to yourself, or if there's someone home with you, you can share them with your spouse or your children. So I didn't grab a spoon, so I'm going to use, sometimes I do this. I use what I have. I'm going to use my teaspoon. So I take a little bite. That is happy dance good. Happy dance good. So here you have it. You like your pumpkin pie, and holidays just around the corner. Thanksgiving's coming up, and then Christmas. Or if you are like I'm making this to bring somewhere. It's a quick, don't have to bake anything, put together. You can do it the same day. Just, I would advise to, though, do it a little ahead of time so it has some time to chill in the fridge. So have a great day. Thank you for baking with me.